Good evening, everyone. Just message on the chat if you're ready to sleep. I mean, not right now. I hope I will not induce sleep in you while I'm speaking, but that's the whole objective. But after I'm done, we will discuss a few things that will ensure that, we sleep well. That's the whole purpose. Just say if you're ready to learn a little bit about sleep. Just send a message on the chat that, if you were there in the previous sessions as well. Wonderful. So many of you are there. Good. So it's good to be back, connect with you again. If it is first time, don't worry about it. You will remember me as the guy who helped you sleep better. Okay, that's the whole purpose. Yeah, so let me share my screen and we'll dive into it. Okay, message on the chat if any of you have sleep issues. What does sleep issue mean? I get into bed, but sleep doesn't come immediately. I do not wake up, with full alertness. I like to snooze and keep snoozing. Don't like to wake up. These kinds of things. I'm not talking about insomnia and serious issues. I'm talking about general issues we all face. Okay. Just message on the chat. If just say yes if you have. Getting too much thoughts in the night while sleeping. Oh, that we'll talk about that. Not fresh in the morning. I wake up late in the morning. Yeah. So we'll address that. So I hope my screen is visible. Start with some breaking news. Last 3-4 days, we have been used to seeing breaking news. So today also we'll see some more breaking news. Scientists have discovered a revolutionary new treatment that makes you live longer. It enhances your memory and makes you more creative. It makes you look more attractive. Okay, you can be very beautiful and handsome. It keeps you slim and lowers food cravings. It protects you from cancer and dementia. It wards off cold and the flu. It lowers your risk of heart attacks and stroke, not to mention diabetes. One moment. You will even feel happier, less depressed, and less anxious. Take this daily once at night and can be taken additionally in the day also. So what is this? Today's topic, no? Sleep. Yogendra beautifully talked about how he was able to battle, diabetes. I mean, I loved the smiling, conversation that we had. I mean, very beautiful conversation that we had right now. So kudos to, what a beautiful transformation he had. So sleep and longevity, the art of sleeping well. Let's discuss about it. So let's start with what makes us sleep. Can somebody say what makes you sleep? And it is not the fairy tales of your grandmother. Can I have some more people switch on the video, please? I mean, at least I'm looking at, I shouldn't be, otherwise I'll switch off my video also. So we will both see blank. I mean, that is nice, right? I mean, your video is off, my video is off, fine. So please switch on the video. Would love to see some more smiling faces. The point here is I want to make sure you're not going to bed right now. That's the reason I'm asking you to switch on the video. Okay. So what makes us sleep? Anybody? Sleep hormone, melatonin, eating heavy food. Eating heavy food. I like that answer. Yeah. Satisfactory day, hard work, mind calmness, sleep. Okay. Let's understand this, the power of sleep. So let's first dive into what is circadian rhythm, which is the body's internal timekeeping clock. We'll understand this a little bit better. So as you can see on my screen, our body has a clock. God has blessed us with a clock. And if you see this clock beautifully, around 9 p.m., melatonin secretion starts. Melatonin is a hormone which will help us sleep. And this hormone is supposed to secrete in the night. And if you see in the morning around 7:30 a.m., the melatonin secretion stops, enabling us to wake up. So our body is tuned to a clock. Now, it is important that to maintain good health, we are in alignment with this clock. So our sleep cycle, our sleep habit should be somewhere here. If we are doing reverse, so if you're a shift worker, I have some pointers for you. Okay, why we sleep? A little bit of science now. Don't worry too much. I mean, you don't have to worry about details of it, but I just want to give you a scientific reasoning of what is happening. Homeostasis is about bringing balance to our system. When we are awake for a long period of time, there is something called as adenosine, which starts collecting in our brain. Okay. And adenosine induces sleep. So from morning till night, adenosine starts building up in our brains. And by night time, it has built up enough and it is starting to induce sleep. Now, what happens when you drink coffee at 8 p.m.? So how many of you drink tea, coffee, 8 p.m., 6 p.m., 9 p.m., 4 p.m., 5 p.m.? Say yes. Any of these times. 3 p.m., 4 p.m., 5 p.m., 6 p.m., 8 p.m., 9 p.m. Any caffeine. Sometimes 6 p.m., 4 p.m. Yes. So what happens when you drink caffeine? Caffeine blocks adenosine, which means you will not feel sleepy early. Exercise increases adenosine. That is why it is important to wake up in the morning and do your exercise, because it starts building up more adenosine. You will be able to sleep better. You know, that's the reasoning behind it. So what happens is linking of sunlight and its day-night cycle with a biological rhythm is the basis of circadian rhythm. This is our rhythm that our body is going through. And melatonin regulates this in our bodies. Okay. It is produced and helps us to sleep. This is why we sleep. Because of this adenosine getting built up and melatonin helping us to sleep. Now, let me ask you a few questions. Are you getting enough sleep? So answer on the chat. Yes or no, are you getting enough sleep? Now, don't ask me how much sleep. I'll explain that later. But currently, as per your knowledge, are you getting enough sleep? So some people say yes, some people say no. If you don't answer, I am assuming you are vampires. You don't sleep in the night. I'm just joking, guys. Don't leave the session. Um, you know, maybe zombies also. I don't know. But yeah, if you're a human being, respond on the chat. Are you getting enough sleep? Do you feel sleepy during the day? Haven't slept for more than 6 hours in the past 5 years. Guest, whoever has typed this, I have information for you. Please be there till the end. I'll tell you very, very important stuff today. Sleep disturbances there sometimes. Do you feel sleepy during the day? A lot of people are saying yes. Sometimes yes, yes, yes. No. Good. Do you struggle to wake up and feel alert in the morning? Yes or no? Sometimes yes, no. Do you struggle to wake up and feel alert in the morning? Matlab, snooze button. You will keep hitting snooze button. Sometimes, okay, yes. Are you wide awake at bedtime? How many of you have this, I am sure some of your children are like this. I know that for a fact. Just when you are about to go to bed, your children are like, I am ready to play. How many of your kids like that, Or how many of you like that? It is bedtime, but, I am feeling so fresh. I was feeling so sleepy in the evening, but now I am feeling so fresh. I can, do another 2 hours of work. I'll tell you why that happens. Do you feel hungry at strange hours? Any midnight snacking person here? You should put a tala on your fridge. Do you feel hungry at strange hours? These questions are important, guys. I'll tell you the reason why. Very important questions. If you answered yes to any of these questions, even one, if you have answered yes to even one of these questions, you may suffer from a slight dysregulation in a brain structure called SCN, suprachiasmatic nucleus. Don't worry about the spelling. Let's call it SCN. Okay. Now, this is not a disease. Don't worry about it. It's a slight dysregulation if you answered yes. Let's see how to correct this also. Okay, look at the screen now. This SCN, this nucleus is present in our hypothalamus in our brain. Okay. And what does it do really? If you see the screen now, it is, when in the morning, how many of you have heard this advise that go and get sunlight in the morning. It will help you sleep better. How many of you have heard that? And you are wondering, Are bhaiya, 8 o'clock in the morning, I'm getting sunlight. How will I sleep better at night? What is the link? How many of you want to understand that link? People tell you, get sunlight in the morning so that you can sleep better. Kaise? It is because of SCN. SCN is your body's central internal clock. It tells you when to feel tired. It tells you when to feel alert. It tells you when to get hungry. It drives the nightly task of cellular housekeeping. Your SCN is responsible for maintaining your biological clock and cleaning up your system. And that is why by getting enough light exposure during the day and dimming the lights during night, SCN is on schedule. If you don't get light in the day and if you have bright lights in the night, you will be feeling sleepy in the day and you will be alert during bedtime. So the first recommendation is if you have tube lights, harsh white tube lights in your house, also try to have some warm lights. This is a technique we follow in our house. When Chirag, our son, if we have to make him sleep early, what do? We put on warm lights at around 8 o'clock. By 9 o'clock, the fellow is already yawning. Try this in your house, if you have kids especially. Don't put on the white light at night. Try warm lights, especially if you have kids. And within an hour and a half, their melatonin is secreting because you are designing your environmental cues to help sleep better. Okay, so we understood that it is important. So when you are opening your laptop and mobile phone and that blue light is hitting your eyes, your SCN is thinking daylight ho gaya. Good morning, sir. No sleep. So 1 hour before bedtime, no laptop, no blue light. So after I am done with at 10 o'clock today's session, do meditation for 45 minutes. I'm just joking, but you will need to give a little bit of gap before you go to bed because the light exposure doesn't help you to go to bed immediately. So it is important to develop some habits, which I'll talk about soon. So how do we sleep? The physiology of different stages. Now, it is a very complicated thing. There are too many stages to sleep and a lot of graphs and everything. So let me make it very simple for all of you. Very simple 4 steps to sleep, 3 steps to sleep. We are awake. Then when we sleep, we get into something called as light sleep. Okay. This is the first step of the sleep. And after that, we go into cycles of deep sleep and dream sleep, which we also called as REM sleep, rapid eye movement sleep. Deep sleep is your restorative sleep. When some of you feel very alert next day, it means that yesterday night you had a very good sleep. Body was able to restore very well. That depends on how much deep sleep you got. 25% of your sleep should be at least deep sleep. If you are not getting 25% of your sleep as deep sleep, then you need to start working on your sleeping habits. Okay. And growth hormone production happens in your deep sleep. So if you're looking for weight loss, growth hormone helps you in weight loss. It's a fat burning hormone. And they do not trigger if you're not into deep sleep, which means you should start sleeping a little early. About 10 to 11 is a good time to go to bed in the night. Dream sleep. What is this dream sleep? How many of you get dreams in the night? And sometimes you wake up and you are exhausted. You feel like you are in the war and you are fighting with somebody. It's a dream, but it was so real. And when you wake up, you're like, a lot of work I did in the night. I need to go back to sleep now. Yeah, a lot of people have that sometimes. That is called rapid eye movement sleep. And that is called dream sleep. Okay, it happens towards the later part of the night, towards the morning hours. Both are important. We will talk about what happens in each of this. But when you are in deep restorative sleep, that is when your body gets into complete relaxation and rest. And in your dream sleep, a lot of things happen, which we'll discuss soon. So what sleep does to us? What does it do to us? It restores energy. It removes tiredness. Is an answer for dummies. I mean, everyone knows about this, but let's understand a little bit about what does sleep do for us. Okay, how many of you know about lymphatic system? Say yes. What is lymphatic system? Lymphatic system is a cleaning system for our body. It's a cleaning system for every organ of our body except the brain. Okay. Now there is something called as glymphatic system. as you can see on the screen, our body has a cleaning mechanism. You can drink some detox juices and clean your liver. You can detox your gut by eating certain types of food. You can detox pretty much everything in your body except the brain. There is no drink to detox the brain. Do you know that? Because when you drink, it is going down, not up. I mean, I'm just joking, but there is no drink, there is no detoxing mechanism to detox your brain. So when does the brain do the cleaning job? When you are asleep. Just like a CPU of a computer, your brain also has a mechanism where there is a cleaning job which is happening. And that happens when you sleep, and it is in the night. So if you don't sleep well, cleaning is not happening up there. Okay, so very, very important. Did you know sleep helps you control appetite also? How many of you did not know this? Sleep helps you control appetite. Seriously? Yeah, how many of you know? Sleep helps you control appetite. Let's discuss this, okay? I told you we'll discuss REM sleep, so let's discuss this. Rapid eye movement sleep is characterized by rapid eye movement, obviously, as the name suggests. Higher heart rate, faster breathing, and more dreaming, So during REM sleep, your cortisol is suppressed. Your cortisol is your stress hormone. It is suppressed and your metabolic rate increases. When you don't sleep well, you get less REM sleep, which means more cortisol and more insulin, which stimulates appetite and leads to greater insulin resistance. This is why people put on weight also. So sleep is so critical. Cortisol, if you one night of bad sleep, 100 times more cortisol in the system, which stores more fat. So if you are sleeping 4 to 5 hours every night, you are in danger. You will tend to, there is a tendency to put on more weight as well. Okay. So very important to understand this. A bad night of sleep can throw you into a temporary pre-diabetic state. Can you believe it? This is very, very important. You can take a screenshot and keep it with you to remind you to go to bed properly. Memories and emotions. Now, I don't think you would have expected me to talk about emotions when we are about to sleep, right? So let's talk a little bit about that. We sleep to remember and we sleep to forget. Can some of you message on the chat if you sleep to forget? I know some people, when you are in a bad mood, some people's natural, habit is to go to bed because you relax and you wake up refreshed. How many of you do that? Let me tell you the science behind this. We sleep to remember. What is the meaning of this? It means that in your sleep, your short-term memory is transferred to your long-term memory. For computer engineers, RAM data is transferred to ROM. RAM data is transferred to hard disk. So when you don't sleep well, that is why how many of you used to wake up late night, during exams, pretty much whole night. How many of you did that or do that if you're somebody in college? You used to do that? You read throughout the night most of the times or late into the night. And have you realized after exam, you don't remember anything of what you read? How many of you understand that? After exam, you don't know what happened. Because see, whatever you read 3 months before, you remembered. But whatever you read during that week of exams, no recollection whatsoever. How many of you have had that experience? I have had it. I don't know where it went. What happened was RAM data did not go to the hard disk because there was no sleep. So when you don't sleep well, you are affecting your long-term memory. So if you had a beautiful dinner date with your spouse, today night you did not sleep well, 5 years later, you might not recollect that at all. By the way, your wife will recollect. Man will not recollect. So men, you need to sleep better now. Okay. That is why we need to sleep to remember. And we sleep to forget. What happens? How many of you had a bad argument at home? You slept through the night. When you woke up, you remember the incident, but emotions are not as much. How many of you understand what I'm talking about? You had a bad argument. Maybe you fought with your child or you fought with your spouse or you fought with your parents and you went to bed. Morning, you remember the fight, but emotions are not as heightened. It is lower. And that is why we need to sleep, because sleep makes us, it removes the emotional intensity when you sleep. That is why sleep deprivation makes all emotions more intense. After a night shift, don't torture your husband, because the man is sleep deprived. If he asks for coffee, give him. If he asks for tea, give him, because he's sleep deprived. Anger is more heightened. When he gets angry, he gets really angry, because sleep deprivation is a problem, guys. Jokes apart, if you're not sleeping well, a little bit of trigger can make you very angry. Okay, how many of you understand what I'm talking about? So these are very, very important things to understand. So please have empathy for somebody who did not sleep well. So if somebody is shouting at you, ask them, did you have a good night's sleep yesterday? If they say no, then say, have empathy. That's when you get some empathy. So all jokes apart, let's move ahead. How many hours do we need to sleep? So come to the point, boss. Tell me how much to sleep. Okay. So message on the chat if you know what is the ideal sleeping time. How much should we sleep? So much we are talking. How much to sleep? How many hours? 7 to 9, 7 to 8, 8 hours, 7 hours, 6 hours, 7 hours, 6 to 8, 7 to 8. There are some yogis who have practices. They do yoga nidra and they get into deep states. They can sleep for 4 to 5 hours. For mere mortals like you and me, 5 cycles of circadian rhythm every single night is what is recommended. One cycle is 90 minutes. 5 cycles is 7.5 hours. So the ideal sleeping time is 7.5 hours. Anything more than 7 hours is associated with longevity. So remember, last couple of weeks I've been talking about telomeres. It is nothing but the edge of the chromosome, and its length is important for our longevity. When you sleep more than 7 hours, your telomeres are happy, your chromosomes are happy, and they allow you to live a little longer. Okay, so if you want to live a longer life, 7 hours and above, not more than 9 hours. Excessive sleep is also bad. So Ravi told me we should sleep 7 hours, so I'll sleep 10 hours a day. Not a good idea. 5 cycles, ideal. Okay, if you feel sleepy during the day, people ask me how much to sleep. Simple measure. If you feel sleepy during the day, you should sleep more at night, or you should get your thyroid tested. If you're sleeping for more than 8-9 hours, please get your thyroid tested. There could be some problem. Otherwise, 7 to 7.5 hours is a good amount of sleep for an adult. For children, okay, if you have children and they are watching this, don't let them argue with you. Tell them this is only for adults. Young children need more sleep. Okay. It is not just about hours in the bed. It is about quality, regularity, and rhythm. If you go to bed at 11 o'clock one day, so don't worry. So some people say, I go to bed at 11:30. Just make sure you go to bed at 11:30 every day. That's all. It is about rhythm. Your body has to switch its biological clock. So if you're sleeping at 11:30, ensure you're not sleeping at 9:30 one day, 11:30 one day, 2:30 one day, 6:30 one day. Then your body is confused. ये बंदा कर क्या रहा है? Body is confused. उठना है, it is confused whether it is waking up or going to bed. So don't confuse your body. Go to bed at the same time and wake up at the same time. That is why sometimes it is important to have children who go to school. Parents wake up on time because they have to drop them to the bus stop, like me. So it helps sometimes. So summer vacation is a problem for parents like us. Otherwise, just make sure that you are having a good rhythm of sleep. Okay, what lack of sleep does to us? If you're not sleeping 7.5 hours, if you're sleeping 5 hours, 4 hours, less than 6 hours, what is happening? 2 problems happen. Only 2 problems, nothing more. So don't be worried. Body problems and brain problems, nothing else. Only 2 small problems. So let's understand these 2 problems. Brain problems, concentration. Maximum number of road accidents happen when somebody has not slept well and they're driving a car, because it is impossible to focus and concentrate when you have not slept well. Very important. So have a good night's sleep before you travel. Have a good night's sleep if you are attending an important meeting, and have a good night's sleep if you want to be healthy. Bipolar disorder. It's an extreme case of, psychological disorder. Emotional unpredictability is there when people do not sleep well. this is a very, very important topic. Mental issues can happen if we are not sleeping well. Learning gets impaired. We can't learn well. Picking up new skills, everything becomes difficult if you're not sleeping well. Alzheimer's disease is associated with bad sleep. Alzheimer's disease is loss of memory. And I already told you what is happening. You're not sleeping, so the memory is not shifting to the long term memory. And the cleaning is not happening in your brain. It results in Alzheimer's disease. So be very careful. It's a one problem, brain problem. It's a severe problem. So let's not get there. Body problem. What body problems do we have? Okay, let's understand that also. Cardiovascular health. Okay, I don't have too much of time to dive into details of cardiovascular health, but this is a very important, significant, important point to note. Cardiovascular, if you want a good heart, you need to sleep well. Okay. Immune system. I will come to the later slide and tell you, but if you do not sleep well, your immunity suffers. And I think last week I asked a question. If you're traveling, you catch a cold. After exams, you catch a cold. Anytime you slept less, your body's immune system, is impacted and you are vulnerable to catching infections. Metabolism gets affected. We'll come to this. Your genes and DNA gets impacted. Guys, our legacy is getting impacted if you don't sleep well. So take a screenshot. A single night of 4 hours of sleep takes away 70% of your natural killer cells as compared to full 8 hours of sleep. Just one night. 70% of your immune cells, T cells, which are your killer cells, are removed. One night, one bad night. WHO has linked shift work equivalent to inhaling paint fumes and smoke from burning houses in terms of causing cancer. So some people ask me, sir, I am in shift. Please shift the shift. Okay. So Shivratri is a one-off event. If you do Shivratri every day, there is a problem. Okay. One-off event, not a problem. See, we are also human beings. Sometimes there is a one-off thing, next week I am traveling, so there is a late night flight. It's fine. Make up for it. And over a period of time, plan your life in such a way that you're not doing too many of it consecutively. Okay, now this is very important, metabolism and sleep. Sleeping less than 6 hours a day and staying past midnight is linked to obesity. For every hour of sleep lost, an individual gained 2.1 points on their BMI. So you might want to sleep well. If you have a coach who's helping you with weight loss, they'll tell you to sleep well in the night. This is the reason. School-age children who sleep less than 9 hours a day, they are more erratic and they are more likely to become obese this is so please monitor your children. They need more than 9 hours. Ghrelin hormone, it is produced in your gut and it promotes hunger and its role in pleasure associated with eating. Okay. Ghrelin makes us crave. As sleep is reducing, ghrelin production goes up. We crave more food and we eat more, we become more obese. Leptin, produced by fat cells, induces feeling of fullness and applies brake on our appetite. So if you have good leptin production, you will not overeat. Less sleep means less leptin, means more eating, means more weight. Okay, so it is very important. One night of wrong sleeping increases cortisol 100 times and promotes fat storage. Last section, how to improve your sleep. Quickly, tips on how to improve sleep and sleep well. How many of you want to sleep well? So we will give you tips now. Please be attentive now. Don't go to sleep yet. There's another 5 more minutes. Then you can sleep. Okay, obstacles to sleep. What will prevent us from sleeping well? Light. Your bedroom has to be pitch black. No night lamp. No, switch off every light. Have heavy curtains. Do not have any light coming into your room. Keep your gadgets in your bed. Caffeine. After 2 p.m., Do not drink coffee or any other caffeine if you want to sleep well that night. Alcohol impairs sleep. So alcohol has to be bye-bye. Very important. Okay, I showed this last week. I'll show it again. If you want to improve the quality of your sleep, there are 3 supplements that can be used. Melatonin, you can find melatonin. You can purchase melatonin in the medical store and also consume it. However, uh, not a very recommended option over a long period of time. However, there are some supplements that can be consumed to improve the quality of sleep, and this will not create any addiction for you. These are not habit forming supplementation. Magnesium glycinate. Magnesium glycinate is a supplement. Magnesium glycinate helps in relaxation and sleep. This is my testimony only. I have been consuming magnesium glycinate for the last month and a half, and I have a fitness band which measures the stress in my sleep. Okay, I never knew that I can have stress and strain in my sleep. How many of you never knew that you can have stress in your sleep? Say yes. You did not know that you can have stress in your sleep. I thought that is the only time where there is no stress. Then I realized even in sleep there is stress. So if you see the screen on the left hand side photo below the moon symbol, there is a lot of movement in the graph, which means indicating that I have strain in my sleep. I was not understanding why am I having strain in my sleep, though I was having good quality sleep. And the next photo, after magnesium glycinate, the strain has become 0. No strain in sleep. So magnesium glycinate is a good add-on to have. Ashwagandha and calcium are also good. It promotes great sleep. But the best thing to do is have a good bedtime ritual. We'll talk about that. You can take a screenshot of this. Some tricks to sleep well. Okay. Get sunlight in the morning, 30 seconds to 30 minutes. I already told you your SCN needs good light exposure in the morning so that it knows when it is morning. Remove all or reduce blue lights. If you're using laptop, buy this specs that you get without power if you don't have power, but which can block blue lights. So this is important, guys. Exposure to blue light can affect your sleep quality. Okay, so it is important that you the best option. Okay, somebody is asking questions during rains. I didn't understand. During rains also, sun is out. It does not mean that look at the sun. It means that just go outside. Don't be inside the house. Just go outside for 30 seconds to 30 minutes. And nothing will happen if you don't do it every day. But if you make it a practice to move out, your body clock is getting adjusted. Have a wind down routine. Relax. Do not watch horror movies in the night. Be very careful about what you are watching in the night. Any news. Some people read books. Good. Have a habit of reading books, but don't read adventure, thriller, edge of the seat thriller, mystery novels while you sleep. Otherwise, your REM sleep, you are solving that mystery. How many of you have done that in your, you watched a horror movie and that horror is coming in your REM sleep. Your dinosaur is chasing you or that zombie is chasing you in the night. Smartwatch. Smartwatch is a good option. I'm living in Germany. Here we have sunlight till 11 p.m. Oh, that's a very valid point to make. Many places in the world have light very late into the night. So I would recommend have a heavy curtain so that it can block off the light, and then you sleep as per the schedule that you have. Because what happens is if you have dim lights in your house and you have heavy curtains, your body still thinks night, even though there is a lot of sunlight outside. So you're trying to adjust. The last thing I do every day comes in my dream. What to do? Read a good book. So when you're reading a good book, so I would recommend a book that all of you can pick up and read. The Power of Subconscious Mind. Pick up this book and read. Read a book called What to Say When You Talk to Yourself. Read these books. Because what happens is, if you're reading good material, in that's the last thing you're doing, your subconscious is thinking about those things. It has to act when you are sleeping. Let it act on good thoughts. Write a gratitude. Have a gratitude journal. Write 3 things you are grateful for just before you go to bed. It shifts your mind conditioning from criticism, condemning, because we are watching all kinds of negatives, right? Till yesterday, a lot of people were worried. If the war breaks out, then what will happen to us? Unnecessary civilians will get affected. That one, this one. So we are sleeping, but we are not sleeping well. But then shift those thoughts. Write 3 things. I thank God for the beautiful relationships I share. My children, my parents, my siblings. I'm giving an example. Thank you, God, for a beautiful health that I enjoy. Thank you for being alive. Thank you for keeping me alive. So when you're grateful, your brain is shifting from what you do not have to what you have. It can trigger wonderful thoughts and induce deep sleep for you. Don't work in the area where you sleep. Preferably do not work on your bed. If you have laptop on your bed, maybe you might want to consider office chair to sleep. It does not help to work in the area where you're supposed to sleep. Okay. Do not watch TV in bed. A lot of people have TVs in the bedroom. Please shift it to the drawing room. Don't have TV in your bedroom. Because when you have TV in the bedroom, there is a tendency to watch TV and then sleep. Wrong habit. Shift it to the drawing room so that you watch it not while going to bed. Have fixed hours of sleeping. That's why I said, when we have children at home who are going to school, their school timings will dictate when. That is why usually moms have a better sleep schedule than dads sometimes, because their waking up times are pretty, set, because they're taking care of the entire household. My wife is sitting here. She's saying, I'm ready to sleep, so I have to wind up quickly now. Do not take long afternoon nap. What happens? If you're taking more than 20-minute nap, your body is getting into deep sleep. And that's why when you wake up in 1 hour, how many of you take an afternoon nap and you feel more sleepy after you wake up? How many of you have that problem? When you take an afternoon nap, you get into deep sleep if you're sleeping for more than 20 minutes. So do not sleep for more than 20 minutes in the afternoon, no matter what happens. You will waste most of your day being groggy. Exercise regularly in the morning. Don't exercise heavy exercises in the evening. Your sleep quality will get affected, because your body is instead of unwinding your body, you are generating more hormones in your body. You cannot sleep well. So rigorous exercise in the morning, light exercise in the evening. So that's why it is okay to walk in the evening. But resistance exercise, gym, I am like lifting 150 kgs, bench press, that press, this press. You're doing 9 p.m. You are awake till 2 a.m. like an owl. Don't do that, please. Drink caffeinated drinks with caution. No heavy meals in dinner. No late meals. 8 p.m. should be curfew time in the kitchen. Nobody should enter the kitchen after 8 p.m. If women are listening to this, just put a tala in your kitchen at 8 o'clock. That means dinner, everything should happen before that. 3 hours for digestion, then everybody goes to bed. Avoid drinking lots of water before going to bed. Otherwise, you'll be waking up in the night necessarily. So some few tips for sleeping well. And that's all I had. I hope you sleep well tonight and every other night. I hope you prioritize sleep, because it is very, very, very important. As we have discussed today, sleep is very crucial. It is not just a pillar of health. It is the foundation of health on which other pillars are resting. Lot of times my parents used to tell me, don't sleep at odd hours. Sleep early and I'll wake you up early. You read. But I would wake up till early morning and keep reading in the school time. So whatever my parents gave me as a, used to tell me, do this, and I wouldn't listen. At the age of 45, that is my goal. Sleep well, So sometimes it is important to listen to our grandmothers and our parents as well, because intuitively they know what is good for us. Scientifically, I'm explaining why is it good for us. But I think it is very important that we prioritize sleep. And I wish you good night. That's all we had. Back to you.